right now I'm thinking कि whatever I have done at that point in time, it was actually a preparation for today. Because two things really taught me well. One is market,
Yes.
which taught me well. Second one is Google. So I believe, since the short form of market is Ma, it starts from MA. So market is my Ma. मतलब वो मेरा मदर रही है. And Google को बाबा बोला जाता है. तो Google has become my father. So Google and market, they were actually the turning points.
कॉलेज हम बहुत सारे कारणों से ज्वाइन करते हैं. अच्छे दोस्त, always wanted freedom, and of course, big dreams. But all of that becomes truly meaningful only if you land the right placement. It's not just about the journey, it's about turning those dreams into a reality that shapes the future. Let's hear it from the Training and Placement Head of Shiksha Anusandhan University, Mr. Sanmaya Rath, who has been there, done that, and knows how to turn your career dreams into reality wins. So let's deep dive into that engaging conversation. Welcome, sir, a distinguished manager of corporate relations and industry engagement at SOA University. With your impressive background in campus placement, industry engagement, and skill development, we are thrilled to have you join us at Wooble Nexus.
Thank you so very much, sir.
So let's start off with some icebreakers and then we'll start taking questions from the audience. If you could host your own talk show, who would be the first three guests and what would you ask them?
Is it limited to any specific geographic territory?
No. It's unlimited even through history. So you can name someone who are not alive.
Okay. So probably Steve Jobs would be the number one guest. Because I believe Steve has really done a very good job in sales and we have many things to learn from Steve Jobs. That's point number one. And second, I would like to bring in Mr. Amitabh Bachchan because he's a person who is known for his communication skills. And third will be, I believe, for consistency in efforts, I would like to bring Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So these three would be the guests whom I would like to bring in to my platform.
Yes, definitely. Amazing people, all from history, but they are completely amazing and we have seen a lot of changes from them.
Correct.
All the three people you named.
Correct.
A lot of revolutionary changes from them in terms of industry or technology and as well as making the country free from colonization and everything.
Yeah, that's true.
So moving ahead with the next icebreaker, if you had to eat only one food for a month, what would it be and why?
14th of March actually. I had a stenting in my heart. So I was into strict diet. So I was not able to drink a lot of water. I was mostly into salads and boiled vegetables. But right now I have stopped eating all those things because I believe I have become normal after that. It's almost 6 months. I'm trying to be normal. So if you are talking about food, then obviously I would like to go ahead with juices, fruits and all. So that would be something which I would like to resort on.
Yes. They are healthy and at the same time...
Yeah, it is good for my heart.
Good for your heart. Great. If you could swap lives with a celebrity for a day, who would it be?
It can be anyone because if it is a celebrity, then I would like to spend more time with Mr. Bachchan because I would love to hear from him. I would love to, learn many things from him. And why I am actually a little fascinated about Mr. Bachchan, because my father was actually reading with Allahabad University.
Okay.
And
same place.
It's almost same, hometown of Mr. Bachchan. And Professor Harivansh Rai Bachchan is actually the professor of my father. So my father used to share so many memories with Dr. Harivansh Rai Bachchan and his, poetic,
Yes. He was very poetic. There are many published poem books on his name.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. So, sir, your journey from academic research to managing corporate relation is quite fascinating. What was the turning point that led you to focus on campus placement and industry engagement?
Okay. So probably you have taken this profile from LinkedIn.
Yes.
Okay. So there are many things which I have not shown to this, real world. All I can say is this world is actually a post-truth world where you cannot just distinguish which one is real and which one is fake. So obviously I had got a background of research, but primarily I started my career with sales.
Okay.
So your question has made me a bit more nostalgic. To answer your question, actually, Mr. Jaiswal, I have to go back to the past. Let us go back to 2007 when I completed my MBA from Wooble University, and I had, as usual, specializations, marketing and HR was my specialization. So, like any MBA guy these days, I had a lot of aspirations. I had a lot of expectations also. The job will be like this, and I'll be getting a lot of flexibilities. I will not be supervised by anyone. So I got selected because during that period of time, we did not have a placement cell at Wooble University. Whatever, things we are going to do, we have to do it on our own. So I, through the effort of some of my family members and, few of the friends, I finally got a chance to start my career with Reliance. At that point in time, Reliance was actually a part of your Anil Dhirubhai Ambani group, ADAG. So Reliance Communication was my first job. I started there as a territory sales manager for Cuttack and Keonjhar. Keonjhar is again my hometown.
Okay.
Keonjhar was a part of Cuttack territory. So since the designation was Mr. Jaiswal territory sales manager, obviously I had a lot of expectations on that particular job role. I thought probably I will be getting a territory where there will be a great team who will be doing everything for me. And I need not need to do anything because I am a manager and directly I have got an appointment as a territory sales manager. So with that mindset, I entered into Reliance, but things were something different.
The expectation did not
The expectations and the reality both did not match actually at that point in time. The grass is always greener on the other side.
Yes.
From a distance, you are watching, I am a territory sales manager. But what I found out, I have to become a salesman as well as a sales manager. Because both way I need to do dual duties. That means I need to be a salesman sometime. Although my designation was territory sales manager, it's a very reputable job or a decorated position, all I can say. As a fresher, getting a position of territory sales manager at that point in time was also good. But, my basic work was to, rush into the market. And who were my customers at that point in time? Different pan vendors, different small shops and establishments. They were all my customers. And I have to do all sort of groundwork, like, starting from canopy activities to your leaflet distribution, which I never thought I'll be doing all these things.
As a territory sales manager.
Yeah, as a territory sales manager. So my expectation was something different. Reality went in a different way. But there were some aspects which I really liked, like, giving presentation to different companies, because we had CUG connections at that point of time where you need to sell the connections to different corporates. So I had to visit different corporates where I was giving a lot of presentations. Similarly, I had to attend different training programs where I was being mentored by a lot of good trainers from telecom industry. So that aspect I really liked, but the aspect of going into the market I did not like.
Yes.
But right now I'm thinking that whatever I have done at that point in time, it was actually a preparation for today. Because two things really taught me well. One is market,
Yes.
which taught me well. Second one is Google. So I believe, since the short form of market is Ma, it starts from M-A. So market is my Ma. मतलब वो मेरा मदर रही है. And Google को बाबा बोला जाता है. तो Google has become my father. So Google and market, they were actually the turning points.
They taught you
a lot.
Great.
At that point in time. And after that, I was thinking of joining education. So I got opportunities with the ICFI group to join as a placement officer. That was the real time, experience in corporate relations and placements because it was B2B again.
Yes.
I was preliminary, my job was B2C, but when I entered into placements, it was B2B.
B2B, yeah.
So starting of my career, I had to rush into different corporates where I met so many good people. So I built a kind of network. So at that point in time, I remember I was doing a combing operation during ICFI. What is combing operation all about? You have to go to a particular area and you do not know anyone in that particular area. So you have to finish all the shops and corporates which are coming under your left and all the shops and corporates which are coming under your right. So that was the real strategy. So I visited different places where I randomly visited different companies. I tried to meet, the vice president or maybe the decision makers. Because at that point in time, decision makers were not there. You can only meet the branch manager.
Yes.
HR was also not sitting. But still, whenever you are meeting a branch manager also, you can get some certain positions for sales.
Yes.
You can bring in sales jobs at least.
Yes.
So that was the real turning point, getting a job with ICFI. That was a turning point. And, learning from market and Google, that was the real turning point.
Very true. So you mentioned that when you were in the job, Reliance job as a salesperson, territory sales manager, then you were not liking as much. But today that when you think from this point, it is a learning for you.
Yeah, definitely.
And since there was market exposure, you can consider market as your mother because it has taught you a lot of things.
Yeah.
So from that, as we also discussed about Steve Jobs, you would like to invite him. There is one quote by him where he says that we can always connect the dots by seeing backward.
Connecting the dots.
Yes, connecting the dots, we can only see it by seeing backwards and not forward.
Okay.
So whatever we have gone through, I think that is a plan of God which shows us and teaches us things, prepares us for the future.
Yeah. And that plan was also good.
Yes.
At that point in time, I felt ki being an MBA from Wooble University, why I am doing all these things. But right now, I feel ki whatever I have done in my past, that really prepared me for today's
today.
world.
Yes.
Because my communication skills got developed. There, I was having fear psychosis. I was even not able to face an interview at that point in time. यहाँ से मुझे मतलब मुझे गरम लगना शुरू हो जाता था. If I'm talking to you,
yes,
then I was having nervousness and I was having a lot of disorders. Yes. But gradually what happened, that fear psychosis went away because I met a lot of people during Reliance and during ICFI. So it was a launch pad and turning point.
Very true. So the exposure was very helpful for you to become what you have.
Correct.
Become today. So what are some of the key ingredients for achieving high placement success rates? So
giving an answer to this particular question would take a lot of time actually. So I would like to minimize my answer so that you can understand the whole gist, what normally happens in corporate relations. The first and foremost important thing is networking actually. Being a corporate relationship manager, every day I need to do networking. How I am doing my networking? Every day I need to send at least 100 emails to different key people or different corporates or maybe to different HR managers or VPs of different organizations. That is one point. Similarly, I need to discuss with my boss. That means my immediate mentor or my manager. I need to discuss every day what I am going to do and what I am not going to do because you know what to do, what not to do. Sometimes you may not understand.
Yes.
So that what not to do, I usually discuss, and I usually discuss what are his top 3 goals for this particular session, or maybe for this academic year, so that I will be able to integrate that particular goal, and I will be able to, manage in that way, so that his goal is achieved. Because obviously your boss would also like to grow.
Definitely.
And if on behalf of your boss, you are, achieving his goals, then definitely he will never leave you. He will always hold your hand. That is second point. Boss management is very important.
Yes.
It may not be related to corporate relations or bringing companies, but still your boss can be a great guide because he is having a lot of experience. He will tell you, you go to Ahmedabad, you will be finding MCA companies. You go to Bombay, you'll be finding a lot of finance organizations. So that kind of guidance you'll be getting from your boss if you are in close touch with your boss on day-to-day basis. Then you need to visit to different organizations where you can connect with different HR. Prior appointments you need to take. You need to visit different key, I believe there are 4 or 5 places where, these places are going to be the big, game changers in the ages to come or in the time to come. That is, one is people want to work there. One is your Hyderabad. Second one is your Bangalore. Third one is Mumbai, obviously. And Delhi these days. Earlier, people from Bihar, they used to go to Delhi. But right now, people want to work at Delhi. So Delhi is a place. And there are also other places like Noida, Gurgaon. So these are certain places where really you'll be finding people who are workaholic and they really want to work. So you have to visit to those places. So often I had a lot of corporate visits. I keep on touring. So I cannot give time to my family. That is again some aspect which I do not like about this job. So, but there are many aspects which I really like about this job. Meeting people, networking with different people, networking through LinkedIn, networking through other social media. Then alumni connect is also very important because sometimes, suppose I do not know you, sir. Suppose Arpita is my alumnus. She is also an alumnus to SOA University, I believe.
Yes.
Because I have checked her profile. So through Arpita, I can always connect to you.
Definitely.
If I do not get an appointment with you, then I can always go and check in with Wooble. I can meet Arpita and Arpita can definitely take me to you.
Yes.
So that alumni connect is also very important.
Yes.
And most specifically, how well you are in selling your brand. That means who are your brand? Your NIRF ranking is your brand. Your QS ranking is your brand. Then your students are actually your brand and your faculty strength. And overall, what is the status of your university? That is also a very important factor. And this is something which you need to do on regular basis. And in addition to that, you need to check in with your rival companies. For example, I always see KSOM as one of the benchmark. So whatever KSOM is doing, whatever companies KSOM is bringing in, I try to bring all those companies to my MBA campus.
Yes.
So I would, in fact, see who are the market leaders of this industry. So I have to make a close watch on their activities also. So these are certain activities which I normally do to bring in top recruiters. And this is a kind of line or this is a kind of profession where अगर आप 5 साल यहाँ पे stick कर जाते हैं तो उसके बाद you have got a lot of database along with you. You have your own clientele. So it is probably the easiest job on this earth one can do.
Okay. So again, this is very important for all of us to learn, and all the placement officers who might be seeing this, they can understand and list down that what are the important works that they should make a task and which would give them good results. Correct. Based upon the experience sir holds as the growing from the ground to the up. So he has already shared the key ingredients of a placement officer. So sir, moving ahead with the next question, when a few students don't land jobs despite their best efforts, what's the game plan? How do you turn these setbacks into opportunities for growth?
Okay. So right now I believe at every campus, there is a new trend called entrepreneurship. Isn't it, sir?
Yes.
So during the primary, training program, we categorize as students into 2 categories. One category who really require job, and second category would be who do not require a job from our end. They only they are supposed to give a no objection certificate to us because they are not planning to do job under any umbrella. Rather, they have to start their own things. So we have to categorize our students into two categories, and after that, again, those who are really interested for jobs, we assess them, and based on their skills, attitude, and knowledge, we categorize them into different categories: premium categories, mediocre categories, or I should not use the term premium and mediocre. Rather, let it be A, B, C, D categories.
Yes.
So we always support the C, D categories because they have always got a chance to be elevated to A and B. They must get a chance. That is one aspect. And when you screen all those people, you are going to find few people who will be dissatisfied with your efforts, because whatever companies you are giving, sometimes it is matching their skills and interests, sometimes it is not matching. Whenever it is not matching to their interests, they may not get a chance to work in that organization, or they may not get through that interview. So there will always be people who will not get right kind of jobs. So when the initial placement is not successful, as you are telling, we used to give them supplementary placement assistance with their junior batches.
Okay.
And this supplementary placement assistance is also having another component which is called hand holding. So we have to hold their hands for another 6 months or maybe for 2 quarters so that they can get through any opportunity. So whatever opportunities we get, we give them a lot of opportunities, because at that point in time they come to a different mindset where they really want to start. So whatever opportunities you are going to give them, they will not be bargaining with you because they are already passed out. So they want to join any organization, so they will be after you.
Yes.
So possibility of training is not there because they are already passed out. So you have to give them only handholding support.
Yes.
And a supplementary placement assistance. And there is no thumb rule, sir.
Definitely. And from a student's perspective, if there is a rejection after a good amount of training, after learning so much from their academia, if then also they are not getting placed due to some issues that might range from communication to their skill that they have pursued, what is your take on their aspect? Like, what should they do? Because after some
what should they do, or what should we do?
What should they do? What mindset they should bring? Because after rejection, a lot of confidence, they lose a lot of confidence. Then the interviews don't go well because of those rejections, or maybe the kind of companies that they have approached, how they have dealt with them.
Okay.
So how should the student face those challenges?
So I believe whenever you are getting a no from any organization, that's not a rejection. That's actually you are being redirected to a different organization, or maybe redirected to a different opportunities where you are really going to excel. Because I always wanted to be a lecturer, because my father was director with SOA University. He was a professor. So maybe a genetic influence, I always wanted to be a lecturer in a government college, which I could not get through. And by profession also, if you take into consideration my educational qualification, I am a geologist by profession. Who did MBA again? It's a 360-degree change.
Yes.
So only problem is that you may not get the right opportunity, but whatever opportunity a student is getting, suppose after rejection you are getting some new opportunity, you try to do that opportunity wholeheartedly. That is one point. And preparation is very important actually, because before a breakthrough, you need to prepare well. That means, for example, you need to do a lot of R&D. You need to be very strong on your domain-specific skills. Suppose you are having operations as your specialization, then you need to understand the industry as a whole. What are the challenges and what are the new things that is happening with operations job file? Or maybe who are the key players in your industry?
Yes.
Where you are targeting. Suppose I am targeting software industry, then who are the key players who are going to hire? Then that is one aspect. Second aspect would be connecting to the right people and finding out a mentor. Mentor, obviously, here the faculties, they would be the mentors. They are your mentors from beginning, but you have to find out an industry mentor actually. So industry, who can be an industry mentor? Anybody who has worked in industry and who can help you out. There will be so many people.
Yes.
For example, you can also be a mentor to different people. That is one point. If I really want you to be the mentor, I should approach you in a different way.
Yes.
If you agree to mentor me, I would be mentored by you. You can help me out in my interview preparation. So preparation. These are the key things. You have to prepare well and you have to improvise your area of development. So you need to understand, if I'm failing, why actually I'm failing. What went wrong? So whatever problematic areas are there, I will not tell it as a problem. Rather, let us take it in a positive way. Let us take it as a challenge. So let us convert all these challenges into different opportunities. Let us, understand where we need to grow. What would be our area of development. So once you do a SWOT analysis of yours, why you failed in that interview, after that preparation will help you out, mentoring will help you out, and connecting to different, as you told, you need to connect to different dots.
Yes.
So you have to connect to different dots. You have to connect to industry. You have to connect to different VPs. You have to connect to HR. Try to market yourself well across the table, across different social media. So if you are going to market yourself well over different platforms, then definitely you are going to get through.
I think this is a very detailed answer for every student who is looking out for placement opportunities. And this is kind of a gist of all the things that they can do. The
Correct.
preparation is one thing, and apart from that, the connection thing that you told, reaching out through different platforms, LinkedIn, and even in offline, that I think helps students to get more exposure, even they are not getting directly placed by them.
Correct.
But they will definitely guide the right path to connect. They can reach out to people who are relevant for the particular student and then help them for either training or getting placed. So, sir, we have seen a mismatch in expectation of student and what the company gives, depending upon the kind of work, depending upon the salaries, a lot of things are there. But what happens when a new student, like you already explained your case, that when a new student joins a company, before joining, they are already in a different kind of zone, that they think that everything will be very nice. Once I get placed, things will always be good. After that, when I really join the company, they get to understand that I also need to work. I also have to give my 110% to get the works done. So before the placement, we might be very happy because of a particular brand that we have been selected into, because of the salary or package that we are being offered. But after that time, when the real work comes, there are students who fail to meet up the expectation. They try giving up, that, okay, this job is not for me. This particular industry is not for me. And sometimes the only reason is because they expected something based upon their idea, and the company and they didn't take care that the company also has some expectation around them. So for this kind of scenarios, what is your advice to students?
Okay. So suppose I have landed in a job offer where I am really dissatisfied, and after getting a job, when I have been onboarded by the HR, I am not getting the right kind of platform. Suppose I am thinking like that, in that way. So Mr. Jaiswal, there are always two aspects to any job that you do. There are certain aspects which you really like, which are according to your aspirations, according to your interests, according to your skills, because obviously you have skills, or you might be having a lot of good attitude. That's the reason why the company has selected you. And prior to, joining in any company as a student, if I am a student and I am going to apply to different jobs, I need to go through the job description first of all. So if I am satisfied with that job description and job role, I should apply. That is a normal, kind of thing. But still, in a mode of desperation, people used to apply to different jobs. They get selected, and after that, when they join, they get dissonance or they get dissatisfaction. So whenever you are getting a dissatisfaction, you have to convert this negativity into positivity. How you are going to convert? There will be two aspects. Certain aspects which I really like about corporate relations, and certain aspects which I really do not like.
Yes.
Or I may not be having that expertise in those.
Yes.
For example, if you want me to discuss with someone, I love that. But if you want me to do certain things in Excel, in corporate relations, I may not be very comfortable in Excel. I am talking about myself.
Yes.
So certain aspects which I like, certain aspects which I do not like. So those aspects which you really like, you have to prioritize on those factors, because suddenly I am getting a job and after that leaving that job within 6 months will not, land me anywhere. Because I have to stick to any job, because it's a launch pad. When I am recruited through campus drive or campus hiring program, I am recruited to different good brands.
Yes.
So when I have been recruited to different, brands. So obviously if I'm getting an initial brand where I need to work, then at least I need to, stick to that particular job role for at least a year. That is normally advisable. Or maybe at least for 2 quarters or for 6 months. That is the bare minimum expectation any company is having. Suppose I am recruiting you, I would obviously like you to retire from my company. For that reason I have selected you. But at least you should stick to 2 quarters. That is what I would like to suggest to any, a student who is appearing for different interviews. And if you are again getting dissatisfaction after, the job offer, those aspects where you are good at, you need to focus on that. Those aspects where you are not good at, or those aspects which you do not like, you have to integrate that particular work with other team members. You have to be a team player as well as you have to be an individual, player, so that you can get operational excellence. Because wherever I like, the aspect that I like on corporate relations, I used to do it on my own. And there are certain aspects where I am not very comfortable. I used to do teamwork with someone. I collaborate with someone. So collaboration would be more, specific to this answer. Yes. First is collaboration. Second one is individual, performance. Individual performance also matters because it is a matter of your own growth. If you really want to grow in your life, you have to do hard work. Because you have to again integrate smart strategies with hard work. Because only doing hard work will not help you out. You have to understand the technology. You have to understand the world. You have to understand the trend. Those who understand the trend and those who understand where market is going, they are normally successful in their life. And it's all about earning money. Who will not like to earn more money? Everyone would like to earn money. Yes. So if you are really passionate about earning money, you have to stick to that job. So love what you do or do what you love.
Yeah, this is the mantra. So I think people, for the students who face challenge as soon as they have joined the work, it is a complete direct advice to them to at least join for 2 quarters or 6 months to understand the job role and then to experiment that what more they can do. The first one is to either prioritize what they are good at and then collaborate on other things to learn from the other team members, or maybe get their help into doing that.
Yeah.
So that is the mantra for students to understand or face the new jobs that they get.
Yes.
What advice you have for people who are not placed into their core domain? There are certain scenarios where the core domain was something else for that student. And they were sticking around that, okay, I want this particular job. But the industry trend is something which we have to cater to. The company requires for a specific role. And if that role is not meeting as many candidates, I think then also candidates are put into that particular role. So what is your take if someone has not been given the core domain or core expertise role? Should they learn that skill or should they switch to their domain?
Okay, so this is a very crucial question, because what I've seen, almost 60% of the students, they're placed across different domains. That means cross domain placements are happening. Suppose I am again into engineering background, I am getting placed as a sales engineer with different companies. So first of all, you need to analyze whether you want to stick to that job or you want your core domain back. That analysis as a student, you would be able to do in a more better way. Yes. Because I have to understand what I need to eat.
Yes.
So once you have decided to make a switch, then obviously you need to find out alternate options. Because wise man says you should always have a contingency plan. So wherever plan A is not working, plan B has to work.
Yes.
So if you have a contingency plan, then find out an escape route. Talk to your placement team once again. Sir, I am not happy. I want something where I can really utilize my expertise or my core knowledge. I want a job like this. But right now I'm placed with this. That is one aspect where you really can get a job change. And suppose you have decided, no, wherever I am there, I need to excel in that particular field. Suppose you are into sales, you need to excel in that field. So you have to understand what are the skills required to excel. It may be through different certifications. Suppose you lack certification. Why you are not liking? Because you are not able to do that job properly.
Yes.
That's the reason you are not liking. So you have to create an interest. How you are going to create an interest?
By learning.
By learning. Obviously, when you are learning for a little period of time, after that you are eliminating L part from learning. You are earning.
Yes.
So once you learn well, then you are going to earn well. That is one aspect. So you need to understand ki in this particular industry, I have to be within that 1%. Everybody is not going to be a superstar in film industry. You can be a superstar in your own field. So if you really want to be a superstar in your own field or wherever you are working right now, then you have to learn. What you need to learn? You need to understand what are the market dynamics, what are the trends, what are the industry people they are saying. So you need to connect to the right people, again networking and attending webinars in that particular field. Suppose I am into sales, I need to attend more webinars. I need to attend certain certifications. I need to do certain certification courses. Then I need to, acquire the right skills, which will be helpful.
Yes.
And more or less, I must be acquainted with the technology that I am going to use in this particular field. So because technology would be the real game changer. So if I am able to handle people in that organization, and if I am able to handle technology, and if I am good at communication, wherever you work, you need to communicate at different level. Be it inside communication, be it external communication. Communication is the key. So try to learn more communication, try to learn more different skills, try to learn those skills which are relevant to that job, and try to have a goal.
Definitely.
In your life.
So sir, moving ahead with the next question, there is something called resume which a student needs to prepare to as a starting point of their placement. So there are a lot of confusion in students' mind that what kind of resume we should make, what we should mention, what we should not mention, and a lot of different things. For you, what are the top mistakes that a student does while making a resume for their placement?
You are talking about resume, right?
Yeah.
So normally what happens whenever we are imparting training, we are actually inviting different training organizations where we are bringing in different soft skill trainers who are very good at resume building exercises. They used to impart different training programs on resume building. So what I have really seen is whenever I am inviting, suppose I am inviting XYZ to my organization where that person is going to again speak to the students about resume building. They are speaking well, no doubt. They are giving their best efforts, no doubt. But whatever format they are giving, that is not, getting appropriate at different platforms. That is becoming a concern actually.
Format.
Yeah, the format. Every student is having the same format. The photograph will be pasted here. Everybody will write, my objective is this. Everybody will be having the same paragraph. Everybody will be having the same technical skills. So everybody will be having the same certification, same events everybody has attended, and whenever you are asking any question to that particular student, the particular student will be answering question the same way what you have answered. Or that previous someone else has come, he has also answered in the same way. So my major concern is, according to my skills, according to my certifications, according to my exposure, I must customize my CV. That is one point. And my CV must be having two things. One is personalization. Second one is authenticity. How authentic I am, and what are the personalized features that I have shown across my CV, curriculum vitae. That is very important. So what you need to highlight? You need to highlight your certifications. You need to highlight your accolades. You need to align your CV according to that job role. So I would suggest every student must create different CVs for different job roles. Or maybe suppose I am having finance and operation as my specializations, I must keep one CV for finance, I must keep another CV for operations. It cannot be one. Actually.
Definitely. So if they are broadly looking for different roles, like someone is in marketing and finance, so they can prepare two CVs for each roles. And if they already know about the company or they already have the JD, they can even be more specific, tailor the resume based upon the particular JD. That would help. And for format, I think we should explore more format,
More different formats.
different format for personalization depending upon their achievements.
Correct.
And sir, in recent trends, people are using portfolios for better presentation of themselves, the work that they have done, and attach the proof of work. What do you think? Is it valuable for the recruiter? And if it is valuable, should the students jump on making more portfolios and making it better day by day?
Yeah, obviously, if I am making a portfolio where I am showcasing my things, whatever I have done in my past, then obviously being a recruiter, suppose I am a recruiter, I would be able to get a chance to learn about that particular candidate in a more better way.
Yes.
So obviously it's good. I can make my own R&D. Being a recruiter, I can really pick up the right talent depending upon their portfolios, and I can also frame different questions according to the portfolio of that particular candidate. That would be more helpful for a recruiter. And again, if I am doing a portfolio as a student, I must be well versed with that particular portfolio. Whatever I have shown, I should be confident, because it's all about confidence and how well you are carrying out the interview.
Yes. So as a placement officer, is it valuable if the students back their resume with a portfolio?
So you're talking about being a placement officer or maybe being a placement official. If I am getting a portfolio of a particular candidate, is it
Beneficial for you to
us?
shortlist them for a particular company?
Definitely, because whenever I am getting a portfolio of a particular candidate, I can market that brand with different companies, because these are certain things. This is a portfolio which is really helpful for your organization, and this is a student who is going to be asset if you can give a try.
Okay.
So marketing that particular brand to different corporates would be more easier for a placement officer if I am getting a portfolio or maybe a video resume.
Definitely. So even if it helps the placement cell or the placement officials to market the student's skill in a better way when they have got more information about the candidate.
That's true.
So sir, are there any particular tips, since you have gone through your nervousness of facing interviews and then now you have such better communication skills. So any tips you would like to share to the students how they can improvise? Because communication is something which is very crucial to complementary to technical skills. So what would be your advice so that they can learn this skill?
Okay. So fine, Mr. Jaiswal, I believe nervousness is always good, because your nerves are really functioning well in Corona, right? So nervousness is good. So if you are having a bit nervousness in your mind and in your heart, then it's obviously good. That means you are serious about your job, serious about your interview, or serious about what is going to happen today. So that's one aspect. Second, you talked about communication. Communication is all about communication, I believe. If I split the word communication, it becomes communication. That means, suppose I am communicating to you and I am focusing on you, you would definitely try to listen to me, because I am talking about your benefits. I am talking about your aspirations. I am talking about your interest. I should not focus on myself actually when communicating with the recruiter or maybe to anyone. So the focus should be on the opponent with whom you are actually communicating. And communicate how in this world, how communication happens, if I can describe, then definitely communication is 90% conviction about your brand and 10% convey of your message. So communication is comprising of many C's again. What are the different C's? Suppose you are again talking to a recruiter where you desperately need a job. First and foremost important C is you need to convey your message to that particular recruiter. Whatever message you need to convey, you have to convey that.
Yes.
Suppose even if you are conveying that message, the communication, communication is not going in a proper way, or maybe the opponent is not understanding whatever you are conveying. Then in that case, you try to convince that person.
Yes.
So that is another C of communication. And finally, even after a lot of persuasion, there is no convey, there is no convincing kind of thing, then definitely you are going to corrupt the mind of that interviewer. You have to corrupt, so that the interviewer thinks this is a really suitable candidate for this particular job.
Yes.
Corrupting the mind. How you are going to corrupt the mind? You have to take that interviewer into your side.
Okay.
And you have to bring that interviewer into a zone where you are actually comfortable. So bringing a recruiter into your comfort zone would be more ideal while attending interview. So conveying your message, conveying your you have to be very good at selling actually, because you are selling your own brand. So selling skills are very important. You be maybe from engineering background, but if you cannot speak well, then nobody is going to recruit you.
Definitely.
So communication is very important, and more specifically, you need to introduce yourself well. That is another aspect. You should understand the industry, and you should understand the company, your job role, and how you are going to understand what are the aspects normally you need to focus while discussing about the company where you are applying. You must go through the annual report, but only problem with the annual report is it is very lengthy. I cannot get sufficient time prior to interview to really analyze an annual report of any company. So what aspects I must touch from any annual report? I must go through the financial part.
Okay.
Then non-financial part I can always go through. Then management development and analysis part is also there. And another important part is corporate governance. So I would suggest when you are researching about any particular company before interview or prior to the interview, then please read the financial aspect, financial report, non-financial report, what they have done in CSR and all. Then management development analysis, what analysis many people have done about the company, and what really the corporate governance of that particular company is all about. So these are certain aspects where you need to focus before attending interview. And cracking interview is easy if you can align your personal goals with the organizational goals.
Yes. So we have to understand about the company from all the perspectives, the financial,
Correct.
non-financial, corporate governance. Make sure that we are well prepared. Until and unless we are prepared or know about the company, we should not go for the interview.
Correct.
I think.
Correct.
And the next part is whenever we are going to the company and we are not knowing about the company, we are also showing that how unprepared or unprofessional we are.
Yes.
So any day I would say this is one key step that we should always remember, to learn as much as about the company whenever possible.
Correct.
So sir, apart from all these, we at Wooble are trying to build a community for students and professionals where they can communicate all their issues, all their problems. And on the other side, we have mentors who are always ready to help them in terms of whatever career issues they are facing, whatever guidance they are seeking. And obviously, they are domain experts in their field. So what would be your message to our Wooble community?
So when I entered into your premises, I felt there are so many positive vibes. I met Arpita madam, I met you, I met the whole team. Comparatively, it's a very young team.
Yes.
And everybody, what I've seen within your team, that everybody is very skillful, isn't it, sir?
Yes.
So you are having a lot of people who are very, very skillful. They are having different skills which they are able to showcase. And your community is helping the students, and your Wooble community is actually shaping the future, I believe. And you are doing God's work here on earth, because God always wants to give everybody bread and butter. So that bread and butter is taken care by God normally. And here you and your team doing it well. So I would rather request you to sometimes visit our campus also.
Definitely, sir.
And in future we can definitely have a lot of tie-ups, because we have many great things to do combinedly. It's all about collaboration. So you should collaborate with more universities across India, and even if possible you should collaborate with universities beyond Indian territory. So I wish the whole team a lot of good things ahead. You must achieve all those good things then, and wishing your entire team all the best.
Thank you so much. So here is a small token of appreciation from our Wooble team.
Really so nice of you.
So they have made it